Our thoughts are not me, and I am not my thoughts. Your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. We are these amazing divine beings that were put on earth with a life purpose. I know sometimes we don't know our life purpose, but we have one or more than one. And living a life with purpose, living a life not only to work, rest, relationship, and if we have a something substantial underneath all what we do and what we are during this time frame we have that we call life, this time frame we are here sharing the planet Earth, then everything else gets secondary. Everything else. So you are not your thoughts, and your thoughts are not you. I am not my thoughts are not me. It's part of this series of videos we are doing about clearing the mind, decluttering the mind. We get so caught up on your thoughts that we end up being slave or them. We end up being like a little rat in a cage, just, oh, I have to do this, I have to buy that, oh, I forgot to clean that, oh, I have to pick up this in the cleaners, oh, I have to do this, I have to do. So we end up having day by day, one day after the other, being after our thoughts, just doing things in a so not coordinated way in terms of having that path clear. What am I doing here on earth? So once we start disassociating our existence to follow thoughts and being so attached to thoughts, when we really get a little distance in between my own being and the thoughts I have, it creates freedom, creates a sense of freedom that we can really follow and hear the inner voice. Our inner voice is not here in our mind. Our inner voice is our intuition, is the guidance, the divine guidance we have to live our daily life. But while we are so distracted in our head, in this mind that is so active 24 hours, we get exhausted, we end up not being productive, and having, in the end of the day, having the sense of not accomplishing. Weeks and months go by, and we don't have the feeling of fulfillment. We are very busy beings, very busy, but doesn't mean that we are walking the path we came to earth to walk. And there is no guilt or shame or any kind of bad feeling about that, but more awakening, more conscious of taking conscious of that's happening. That's just the first step. Oh, yeah. I've been so lost in my thoughts. I've been just going here and there, following it, that I don't really do every day a little bit of what I really came to Earth to do and to be. So, and now what, right? And now you can, okay, and now what? And now let's practice not being so into the thoughts, into the mind, just following what the mind determines and taking the control, not the control in a rigid way, but being in charge, better saying, being in charge of our own life, being in charge of choosing what kind of thoughts I want to have. And why we've been talking so much about that? Why it is so important? It's important because the moments we are so lost in this mind that is non-stop, we call monkey mind, and all the time we are lost on those thoughts, we are not living. Or we are dragging the past and still suffering the consequences of things that already happened and we have no power over anymore, if we had some, any in the past. Or we are apprehensive and tense and anxious about what we are imagining that would happen, that never happens the way we think about, never happens the way we are so worried about. So why we are dwelling between these two worlds, the past and the future, we're having the present moment robbed by us, hijacked our mind, hijack our life. Our thoughts hijack our living. That's why it's this so important to open our eyes and open our heart and be aware of what these uh, some authors call this entity called mind is doing with our lives. And it's not a coincidence that the entire world lately, I say the last decade or so, are so much into looking for different ways of being, different ways of eating, different ways of living the life, more towards meditation and consciousness and mindfulness. There is a big movement that's a global movement that's actually taking us and inviting us to join. And the reason of this big movement, this global movement, is just awakening for this reality that we don't need to be so distracted. We don't need to follow our thoughts every day, all day, as if there is a high commandment. There is a high power in our head just telling and dictating what to do and when to do. So my invitation for you today is to just think about that. Add these thoughts to the 90,000 thoughts we have a day. And just bring this awareness to your mind, but to your heart. And let's do that 30-second exercise that I've been proposing here And I want to invite you to do with me 30 seconds of your time just to experience you as the observer of your own thoughts. So you're here and your thoughts are passing like clouds. And I invite you to be the observer of that. Just I will quiet and I invite you to have all the distractions removed from your attention that is taking your attention, and you just go inside and just observe the thoughts coming and going, okay, for 30 seconds starting now. For maybe for you it's not enough, 30 seconds is not enough, but you can try to do this longer. But for most of us, it's enough to have this opportunity to, yeah, there is a me that is here observing, and there is a me that is thinking the thoughts. And just to have in this realization, just to have this experience, will give you a little hint in how important it is you just start doing this for now. Many times a day. If you're doing things that you're washing dishes, you are organizing your um, drawer or some shelf in your house, or brushing your teeth, taking a shower. If you're doing something that waiting for the microwave to finish heating your food, whatever you're doing that you don't need your cognition, you don't need your full attention, that you can just abstract yourself from the orders of your mind. And this way, you have the experience of taking back the power, taking back the power of being in charge of your own life, taking back the power of really decide what you will think and what kind of a direction you want to give to your mind and to your life. My name is Katia Ferreira, and I am here every Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, California time, discussing how important it is to clear our mind in a way to be fully present and live fully this amazing life that we have here, and how to access the intuition, how to access this inner wisdom that we all have. But while we are so busy, so concentrated in what the thoughts are doing with us, we don't take it and we don't feel empowered to use this amazing divine guidance in our daily life. I wish you an amazing week, and we'll be here together again next week.